Between the months of March and May 1985, the Combat Development's Experimentation Center, CDEC, conducted a test for OTIA, the Operational Test and Evaluation Agency. The force-on-force experimentation of the Sgt York gun system was phase 1 of the follow-on evaluation. With the mission of providing air defense against low-altitude hostile attack helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, and to provide effective ground fire against enemy lightly armored vehicles as required, the Sgt York gun system underwent comparison testing. The alternate systems tested with the Sgt York included the Chaparral M48 Forward Area Air Defense Missile System and the self-propelled Vulcan Air Defense System. Designed to replace the Vulcan, the Sgt York has an enhanced all-weather radar engagement capability. A completely integrated, fully autonomous system placed on a modified M48A5 tank chassis, the Sgt York features twin NATO standard 40mm guns as its main armament and has point detonating and proximity fused ammunition. Capable of firing at a nominal rate of 300 rounds per minute per gun, the Sgt York utilizes an advanced radar-directed fire control system. The turret was designed to provide ready storage of approximately 500 selectable ammunition rounds in 4 magazines, 2 magazines for each gun. This two-sided, controlled, free-play experiment was conducted at CDEC's Fort Hunter Liggett Field Laboratory within the terrain corridors of the Gabilan, Stony, and Nacimiento valleys. Designed to be as operationally realistic as possible, using state-of-the-art instrumentation, the test assessed the Sgt York's operational effectiveness, suitability, survivability, and vulnerability. Data was collected through use of CDEC's range measurement system and electronic line-of-sight system, ELOS. Ground-to-ground real-time casualty assessment was limited to information provided by the Miles instrumentation system. Consisting of a series of short tactical exercises, the experiment utilized scenarios with set engagements between red, air, and ground forces, and blue, air defense artillery and ground forces. 3 scenarios were developed for the experiment. The tactical road march scenario was conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of the Sgt York's air defense system to protect a task force from fixed and rotary wing aircraft attack. The task force was moved under march discipline along a route of 10 to 20 kilometers. Threat aircraft attacked the extended march column only to be met by a priority of protection from air defense assets. The Sgt York's capability to protect a task force under orders to secure a main objective was tested during the attack scenario. The blue forces encountered enemy obstacles such as minefields while simultaneously being attacked by threat forces. Lead teams in the attack required air defense protection, as was provided by the Sgt York Stinger platoons. The delay scenario required the task force to be disposed throughout the depth of their sector and to withdraw to alternate delay positions as they were attacked by threat ground forces and aircraft. The air defense system was evaluated on the protection it offered the company teams within their delay elements. Adding to the battlefield realism of the test was the use of smoke, dust, flares, and electronic warfare for communication and radar jamming purposes. Also a part of the battlefield environment were night trials and simulated nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare procedures. The Blue Ground Force was comprised of an Armored Task Force Minus, consisting of 2 tank companies and 1 mechanized infantry company, supported by the Sgt York Stinger platoon. This platoon was made up of 4 fire units and 5 Stinger teams. For comparison purposes, the Stinger teams were also teamed with a Vulcan platoon consisting of 4 Vulcans and an alternate systems platoon, a composite of 2 Vulcans and 2 Chaparral. Throughout the experiment, the Blue Task Force conducted both offensive and defensive operations within assigned areas. The Red Task Force was an armor company augmented with a mechanized infantry platoon representing a forward security element of a tank battalion advance guard. All efforts were made to portray and utilize Red forces consistent with existing threat doctrine in a simulated late 1980s European setting. The Red ground forces were supported by attack helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft. The Red forces utilized up to 10 fixed-wing and 8 rotary-wing sorties per raid. Data collected during the experiment was reduced at CDEC's Computer Center and forwarded to the Operational Test and Evaluation Agency for analysis. In addition, the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army directed CDEC to form an analysis group and conduct a quick, independent analysis of the data. In effect, this force-on-force experimentation of the Sgt York and the alternate air defense systems simulated the battle of tomorrow. Test results will be used by the Secretary of Defense to make a multi-million-dollar budget recommendation that will ensure the Army is equipped with the system that can best predict a victory in the future.